Welcome to Pastor's Chat today. We're looking at Joshua chapter 6 and we're down to verse 17. As we read through this chapter and have a few thoughts we want to share, especially about victory by faith. Victory by faith. As we face challenges and obstacles and giants and things in our lives that keep us from God's best, keep us from enjoying the rest that we can have in Jesus Christ, a spirit-filled life, we need to understand the journey is by faith. And it's a tough journey, but it's a journey that God gives us strength for. So let's begin reading in verse 17, and we'll go through the end of the chapter and a few comments about these verses. Now the city shall be doomed by the Lord to destruction, it and all who are in it. Only Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all who are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that we sent. And you, by all means, abstain from the accursed things, lest you become accursed when you take of the accursed things, and make the camp of Israel accursed and trouble it. And you remember, we're going to see where one man named Achan did not follow these instructions. As a result, he and all his family had to perish. But all the gold and the silver and the vessels of bronze and iron are consecrated to the Lord. They shall come into the treasury of the Lord. So the people shouted when the priest blew the trumpets, and it happened when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout that the wall fell down flat. Then the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both men and women, young and old, ox and sheep and donkey, with the edge of the sword. But Joshua had said to the two men who had spied out the country, go into the harlot's house, and from there bring out the woman and all that she has, as you swore to her. And the young men who had been spies went in and brought out Rahab, her father, her mother, her brothers, and all that she had. So they brought out all her relatives and left them outside the camp of Israel. But they burned the city and all that was in it with fire. Only the silver, the gold, the vessels of bronze and iron they put into the treasury of the house of the Lord. And Joshua spared Rahab the harlot, her father's household, and all she had. So she dwells in Israel to this day, because she hid the messengers whom Joshua sent out to spy Jericho. Then Joshua charged them at this time, saying, cursed be the man before the Lord who rises up and builds this city Jericho. He shall lay its foundation with his firstborn, and with his youngest he shall set up its gates. So the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame spread throughout all the country. Now, what we've learned is that we conquer by faith. When we come to these Jerichos, we do simply what God told us to do. We're obedient and we trust Him. Now, the Christian life is not an easy journey, but God has promised us strength for that journey. Matter of fact, in Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 25, God was talking to the different tribes, and Moses was talking to the different tribes just before he dies and pronounces blessings upon them. And he says to the one tribe, as your days are, so shall your strength be. Now, did you hear that? As your days are, so shall your strength be. He didn't say, as your strength is, so shall your day be, but as your days are. In other words, we don't have to say, well, I just don't have enough energy, I don't have strength, I just can't do it, I'm too old, and we make excuses. No, when God gives us something to do and we obey it as our days are, He gives us strength equal to our task. I love what Philip Brooks said. He says, pray to be better men and women. Do not pray for easy lives. Do not pray for tasks equal to your powers. Pray for power equal to your task. And God gives us this day our daily bread. He gives us strength for the day. Today He leads us not into temptation. We trust Him for the strength we need for the journey. Strength for the journey. Yes, God will give it to you today. Whatever you're facing, by faith, trust Him. And I guarantee you, according to His word, He keeps His promises. And we have to do exactly as Joshua did at the end of this chapter. Follow God's commands. and do these things that are honoring and glorifying to Him, and get rid of those things in our lives that displease Him. As Jericho was burned with fire, the inhabitants were destroyed, and only Rahab and the harlot and her family survived because of her faith. Well, God bless you, and you have a wonderful, wonderful day.